have... So, basically...
Out of 7 topics, Wii U wins first place in every single one. So, the PlayStation 3...
4.
Sorry, 4. Only got third place twice.
So it's the second place.
It's the second place system.
So basically, what it comes...
And the Xbox One got
So what
third.
we're trying to tell you is don't buy an Xbox One because it's a piece of shit.
This is our collective. Now, before we end this is the end of the video right here. The end of the video, each person will pick a thumbs-up system. You pick one system out of these 3. Now, it doesn't. You can go completely against the grain. Just because the Wii U won our collective discussion, that doesn't mean it's your opinion. If you want to fanboy it here, you have every right to do so. This is what you would do. This is not my decision. It's not his decision. This is you. Whoever wants to go first, you thumbs up one system.
I will go first.
That if you... This is one of 2 things. If you could only buy one, or if you have to buy one first, like you're going to get all of them, but what one should I do first?
I'll go first.
Thumbs up a system.
Good.
I am glad I bought my Wii U first. If I had to go back and do it again, I would buy Nintendo first again. I have the PS4, and don't get me wrong, I love my PlayStation 4. I would buy my Wii U first again.
Seth?
I got my PS4 first. Reason being was I needed the Blu-ray player. And at the same time, I also enjoyed the fact that I could get all those free games. Plus, I was, Metal Gear time ready. But now that it's busted, I really do wish I could go the fuck back and be like, nah, fuck it, Wii U.
Scott?
This is going to be difficult for me. Somebody else.
Bill, go ahead.
I went Wii U 100%. Something was weird. Every now this is before my problems with Sony hit. I have gone PlayStation for a long time now. For a long time. And I've always been Xbox a close second, depending on the games, depends on which one I'm buying for. Now, for some reason, I decided to go Wii U, and I don't even know what the reason was. It was weird.
$200? $500?
No, I had like a strange epiphany. It's going to sound really weird, but it's a strange epiphany. One day, I stopped and I took a look at things. In fact, you can see, I did a video on it the day that I decided to go Nintendo.
Well, you told me why. But
I said that throughout the course of the years, I fell into this console war shit. When I grew up, I had a Nintendo.
Yep.
Period. That's it. And everybody else did. It wasn't about wars and what system was greater and who had this and who could do that. It was about, dude, games are sweet. Do you have a cool game? I have a cool game. Check this cool game out.
Hey, let's trade cool games.
This is Mario. This is Zelda. This is Zelda 2. This is Mega Man. This is Contra. And I was like, everything was an experience. And I was excited just to be a part of this new thing, this gaming community. I used to go out on recess, and me and 6 other kids used to call ourselves the Game Warriors. And we would draw maps and, play out our own video games, almost like a Captain N type of thing.
that's pretty sweet. When I was younger, I used to go out and play Power Rangers.
I was excited. I was excited just to be a part of games.
Green Ranger.
Then I got my Sega, and I joined the console war. I took up arms.
It's disgusting. It happened that early.
Now,
Yeah.
I took up arms, and I started battling for the Sega. In the lunchroom, people would be like, dude, this is my Nintendo, and I'd be like, fuck your Nintendo, bitch!
Sonic the Hedgehog, motherfucker.
I'd be like, your Nintendo's slow. I saw that Mario Kart, can't even make the fucking turn.
Motherfucking blast process!
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Mario Kart was a great game. I didn't care. I was
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
I was part of the war.
Wasn't
and
that
from the
actually
Sega,
a commercial?
Yes.
from the Sega Genesis, I made the jump into the Super Nintendo and started being like, man, why was I even playing the Sega? So then I kind of hopped terms, and then this trend continued almost my whole life. I got a Sony PlayStation, and it was all over. People were like, dude, have you seen the Nintendo 64? And I was like, yeah, I seen that piece of shit.
No.
You seen the Sega Dreamcast, bro?
And I was like, yeah, I seen that piece of garbage.
Oh.
I didn't even try those games because
Yep.
I was a soldier.
But you could have played the game that had Leonard Nimoy as a fish with a face.
Right.
Yep.
I could have played a lot of games. So I continued this
See,
trend.
man.
I continued this trend through my whole life. And then I started hitting my collecting phases again. And I started falling back into all these old systems, even systems that I'd left alone. Like things like I didn't have a GameCube.
Yep.
I hated the very idea of the GameCube because, motherfucker, I was PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Shove your GameCube controller in your ass.
Until we started up
It
Gamers
would
United.
fiddle,
But
it would fiddle a lot better than a
even
PS2
during
or
Gamers
Xbox
United,
controller.
Gamers United was a club that existed in Bartonville where we would rent out halls and like go over to like different areas and like hit the parks and things like that. We'd gather up money from everybody, like donations, and we'd buy games, and we had leaders.
Yep.
I was the PlayStation 2 leader. I was in charge of bringing the PlayStation 2, games, controllers, memory cards. Somebody else was in charge of Nintendo. Somebody else was in charge of Xbox. We would do tournament rosters and things. And I was PlayStation 2 hungry because that was my war. Okay, I was a PlayStation 2 soldier.
And it was actually hard at the time to get games because we were too busy buying up pizza from.
This continued.
We had too many people.
This continued all the way through PlayStation 3, and then I started building this wall. And as I looked back on all these games that I'd left behind on accident, PlayStation 1 games that I never tried, because when you're a soldier, you don't even think about the other games on the system you're promoting. You're like, this is the best system because commercials say this is the best game. I found PlayStation 1 games that I can't believe I never played. I found Super Nintendo games.
Games like
Xbox
Battle
games.
Arena Toshinden 2.
Xbox games, like crazy, ridiculous games like Freaky Flyers and Kung Fu Chaos that nobody
Conker's
ever
Bad Fur
yeah,
Day.
things that people weren't touching because I was supporting the other systems, and it made me have a realization. Why did I move away from Nintendo?
Nintendo didn't shove themselves down your throat.
That's it.
Yep.
He just did it. That's why Nintendo stuck to their guns when everybody else went on the warpath. When fucking Sega started slinging shit, Nintendo don't, and things like that. Nintendo said, "Yeah, that's clever. We just made Mario Kart."
Sadly, it's true. Yeah.
No. And then they were like, "Yeah, well, fucking Sonic runs fast," and they were like, "Yeah,
But
Super
now,
Metroid."
Mario can ride a dinosaur now.
And
Super Castlevania.
they did this, and because they weren't shoving themselves in my face, I didn't care. But now that I'm looking back on it, and I'm realizing that Nintendo has one hardcore policy: gaming. Yes, they're expensive. Nintendo games don't drop in price.
No.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a greedy company policy. I think there's a reason.
It's a quality policy.
Nintendo stuck to their guns. They still do the same thing they did in 1986. Their games are still as good and still as quality as they were all the way back then. And yes, there are some bad games on every system.
Like
There are bad games on every system.
Yeah.
But hardcore, first-class Nintendo titles have one thing in common. I don't have to question it. I just buy it and play it.
Yep.
So
That is why I went back to Nintendo.
Yeah.
So we,
Sadly, it's true because
So-
I went out and bought the brand new Kirby, and I was like, well, fuck, let's give this a try. It's the only thing that's been in my fucking 3DS ever since.
so you've got Spencer, Seth, and now Bill with
Wii U first.
Wii U first. Have you decided, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I wasn't expecting Bill to go that long, but okay.
Well,
No, you're fine.
It was the reasoning that led me to it. I thought about it for months.
And mine won't be as long as yours, but I have my own reasons for the one I'm choosing.
Because remember, we got our bonus at Caterpillar. Way back, we got our bonus, and I was gonna buy the PlayStation 4 that night. And then when I woke up in the morning, instead of going to the store, I went to work, and I thought about it the whole day. I think I picked like fucking 15 parts. All I did was basically sit
one
online
day,
and look at games
Your
and
ass
things.
is fired.
Dude, I just sat around almost all day, like just thinking about what I should do. Like as soon as I get off work, I could go over to Walmart and this and that. And it ended up that the next day I went to the store and I sat there and I stared at the systems and then I counted the games on the shelf and I was like, duh, 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 and I got so many on one shelf that I would buy, so many on another shelf I would buy, and then finally I was like, you know what? I think I'm going back to Nintendo. And I do not regret that decision for even a millisecond. I love the controller. I love the system. I love the functionality. I have not played a bad game yet. And I have not paid under $60 for a single game.
What about you, Scott?
Mine has to go back to my early stages of gaming. For me, the first video games, actual console video games I started with, was the NES.
Mm-hmm.
However, it wasn't until the first Sony PlayStation came out was when I became a gamer. So I've had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and now the PS4. So yes, I'm going to be one of these. When they announced, going over, which ones, Xbox One's going to be all about, all this other stuff that it can do. It can do like
the
all-in-one,
the entertainment package, and it's like they brought up nothing about games. Sony over here is like, oh, guess what? We're about games.
And on top of that, we can do that stuff too.
It's
and
Xbox One is like, oh, guess what? You can't share games. You can't play other friends' games.
The original model for the Xbox One.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crippling.
And then it's
Fucking crippling.
The biggest
I
insult-
swear, there was a guy. I've always had this theory. I think they sent somebody from PlayStation to be in that panel. Because PlayStation came on after the Xbox releases.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, dude, there was a dude sitting in that audience with a notepad like, oh, you can't trade games? Looking around like people hate that. $500? $400? Fucking, he
Online
looked around-
only? No.
Yeah, no, nobody seemed to like that idea.
No, I know what you're
and then
worried
he
about.
went over to the panel and he was like, this is what they didn't like. Because, man, Sony came out and they said, $400. They undercut. There's no way they did that shit on.
The best part of that first thing is the guy goes, you want to know what it takes to share games with your friends?
Here you go.
Here you go.
Now, I know what you're
That
worried
was
about,
brilliant.
Scott. I know what you're worried about, Scott. You're worried about us saying, well, you're just a fanboy. But no, it's not fanboy. It's loyalty.
Yeah, it's
It
more or
is.
less for
It's
me.
part
It's
of it.
been loyalty for Sony.
And that's fine.
As far as the first decision is going with Sony for the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
Well, for me, if I had to go back, doing what Bill and Scott was doing, talking about their earlier days.
Shane would buy a Neo Geo.
Dude, to be fair,
Jaguar?
the Neo Geo games are amazing.
No, you're
like
wrong.
they come in those big cases. They're like buying records or something.
To be fair, if I had to give you a choice, I would tell you to go get yourself a TurboGrafx. I would tell you to do that.
Bonk. 16. Bonk. You think your Commodore 64 is really neato?
But
What kind of chip you got in there? A Dorito?
everybody knows from watching our other videos and stuff that I started with Sega.
286. Don't make me laugh.
But I wasn't part of the console war. Because I don't even remember why I got a Sega. Because I never owned a Nintendo product back then. I had Sega.
Yeah, you did. You had a Nintendo that
Game
you had to
Boy.
turn upside down to make work.
Because I found it. And somebody tossed an NES
He
away.
found a Nintendo in a dumpster, and if you turned it upside down, it would work.
It worked. The only thing that didn't work was the zapper.
But
it worked.
It wouldn't work right side up. For whatever reason, it was broken.
I had a Dreamcast like that. You think it's weird with a cart? Try putting a disc in something, closing the lid, waiting for it to spin at full speed, nothing showing up on the screen, and then you go, and it goes, Dreamcast, and I'm like,
really weird.
here we go, and it's rocking the whole time because it's spinning the disc in there, and you're like,
Crazy.
this is great.
Well, to be
sticking something under the side so it's not scratching your disc.
Ridiculous.
But that NES didn't last long. I think we only had it for a few weeks before.
Okay.
But to be fair, I started with Sega. I wasn't part of the console war because I don't even know why I got the Sega first. I don't remember.
But you became a part of it
I
later
did.
on.
I did become part of the war, but my first, then I got Sony.
Yep.
You know, I got my PlayStation, and then I got my 64. I got my 64 for Christmas from my grandfather. I still have that damn thing.
Yeah.
Your Donkey Kong Country 64?
I have all. Yes, I have it all except for the cords I plug into the TV. That's why it doesn't.
Didn't that come with a yellow controller?
Green. Mine's green.
Was it green?
It's green. The entire thing's green.
The see-through green, right?
Yep.
You have the expansion bay, too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the first 64 that came with it already in the system.
Yep. And
Which is why you have Majora's Mask.
Yep. And to be fair, I didn't get into the console wars until the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. And
then you started defending blindly.
I defended Sony because of one game. And the one game that got me my PS2 was Kingdom Hearts. When I seen that commercial, I went nuts. And I
don't like Kingdom Hearts, but I just let me say it. I'll never forget that commercial because of that damn song.
I love that song. Love that song.
Never forget it.
You want to
It's the
talk
one
about
song.
unforgettable commercials? Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. You and me, and me and
He
you.
trips him.
All of a sudden, Donkey Kong's got a haircut like, bitch, mother.
But
Oh yeah.
so I
Loved it.
And then I just started buying every Sony console first. I bought the PS2 first because of Kingdom Hearts. Bought my Xbox because I wanted to play Shenmue because I missed it on the GameCube, the first one, the Dreamcast. My bad.
I never played
the
game.
Oh, you missed out. It's a great game. I got my GameCube last. And one of the first games I played was Mario. The first game I played was Double Dash. Loved it.
Oh man.
Fucking best Mario.
But when I went to,
I don't know, man. I'm torn now. That used to be my
Dude,
favorite.
if they could
but
put
now
double
that
dash,
Mario
if
Kart
they could
8,
put double dash functionality into Mario Kart 8, I would bust a nut.
but when it came,
you never know.
But for
Downloadable
GameCube,
content.
But for GameCube, when it came to RPGs, Skies of Arcadia I started with. I can't find that damn game. Can't play it anyway if I had it, but I want it.
If you want me to, I'm pretty sure I can call my brother and see if he still has
If
it.
he has that,
We can make a run to Bloomington.
How much you willing to pay for it, Shane?
Oh no, he ain't having it. That shit's mine.
Yeah, I can't
My
have
brother's
it.
borrowing it.
And I don't
Just
need to borrow the
fucking
GameCube,
Majora's
but-
Mask on
Anyway,
the fucking 64.
That's
mine. I'm letting my brother borrow it.
who wins, Shane?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I bought my Wii U 2 months before I bought my PS4, but I'm sticking my PlayStation. I'm loyal. PlayStation has been screwing people, and I had
the fist bump of triumph over.
you do know we lost anyway. But here's the thing. I had a scare the other day that made me get mad. I turned my PlayStation 4 on.
That light turned yellow, didn't it?
No, it had nothing to do with the light. Something on my screen, I noticed that when it was loading up and it was on the dashboard, my picture looked different. I'm like, it's not high definition. I went to my settings, and it told me that my TV is not compatible with 1080p. I'm like, oh, bullshit. Bullshit. This TV's only a few years old.
Skynet, motherfucker, your PlayStation's taking over.
So then, what I did is I unplugged the HDMI cable and plugged it back in, reset the console. Now I don't have an issue. Like, I don't know why you did that, but this TV is more than affected. It is a 1080p television. Okay? But
Now you know why I love plugging all my high def shit into my fucking computer monitor. I don't have to worry about it.
But-
It's just like, yup, it can go past your 1080p.
But with especially with Bill's issues with PlayStation, his PS3 dying, me sort of rubbing it in his face
that was the greatest face that's ever
fucking
made.
died.
See, the problem that Bill had with his PS3 is what I had with my 360. I went through multiple 360s.
You guys suck, because I only ever had two, and the only reason I had two is because I bought the second one because it was R2-D2.
That's my third Xbox. But to be fair, my first Xbox was broken the day I bought it. My second Xbox, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember why I got rid of it.
My 360, the one I have at my house right now, My fourth one.
No, I do remember why. I was moving.
It's my fourth one.
I was moving, and I can't remember what, but I had to
I got
have
that
money
slim
for
one.
something.
And you sold it.
The
And I
glossy
sold
one.
it,
I got
and
the.
then-
I got. They don't make it anymore, but the Elite. I got the glossy one.
I talked to
Nice.
Shane because
I was at work
I
with
think
Shane
it's-
the night that this came out.
Yep.
You called Shane and said, Shane, I need $250. Shane's like, what the fuck do you
Yeah.
need $250
I was
for?
like, look, man, I would normally never ask for that kind of money, but the new Xbox is coming out. It's going to be an incredibly short supply, and
And
I
it's
have
red.
to have it.
Resident Evil 5.
And
As far as loyalty goes, you guys shared your loyalty stories, so I'll just tack mine on here
Right.
at the end real fast. Nintendo was first. Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis in there for a while, and then it killed my dog. The dog chewed through the power cord.
it's like fucking
So,
Transformers.
Killed my dog.
It's an Autobot.
So then, 64,
It would basically be a console bot.
Yeah.
Deceptibot.
Deceptibot.
Decepticonsole. Anyway, so then Microsoft had the Xbox, Sony had the PS2, and Nintendo had its GameCube. We had a PS1 in the house that was my stepbrother's, was not mine. Parents came around Christmas time. Which console do you guys want? We can only get one. Pick one. My oldest stepbrother, I want an Xbox because of Halo. Second stepbrother, I want an Xbox because of Halo. Third brother, Xbox because of Halo. My younger sister, Xbox because of Halo. My dad turns to me and goes, what do you want? I said, I want a GameCube because it's Nintendo. Guess what I didn't get?
Oh, really?
My dad bought the Xbox because 4 of us out of the 5 wanted the Xbox.
You know what would have been great? I'm sorry. Before going for the Xbox,
I need to bought the GameCube.
No, if it
That was a
would
turning
have
point
been
for you, though,
Would have been
wasn't
great though if you would have walked in with the PS2. It's like it's my money. I decided.
Well, see, here's the thing though. I became a fan of Microsoft by necessity. Okay? At the time, I didn't have the money to buy my own consoles. I didn't have the time to buy my own games. My parents sure as hell weren't buying another console. So, we had the Xbox. I had to play it whether I liked it or not. And I didn't hate Halo. I liked Halo. I played all the Halos. You know? But that whole time I was going, man, I'm missing like Mario. I'm missing Zelda. I'm missing Donkey Kong. I'm missing all this stuff. And they're all just like, the only game we play on our Xbox is Halo. Literally, for the longest time, the only game we owned for our Xbox was Halo. Then my dad bought a golf game. I played the golf game more than I played Halo. Anyway, so from there, my option was PS3 or Xbox 360. And I played the PS2 because Kingdom Hearts. I actually played the second Kingdom Hearts before I played the first one. Lisa got me into it. And which one of these fucking things am I supposed to pick at the start of the game where you have to choose the sword, the shield, or the wand? I'm like, what the fuck does this even mean? I'm talking to her on the phone because she loaned me her PS2 in Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I don't even fucking understand. So I picked magic is my strength and the shield is my weakness, and I just got my shit punched in that whole game.
You got no defense and your attack was lacking.
Yeah.
But you could throw a fireball.
Oh yeah! Got my shit punched in that whole game. So the new gen came out, and it was Wii U, PS4, Xbox One. My brother-in-law, day one, went out, bought both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 at the same time. I bought my Wii U. He goes, you just wasted $250 because that is the inferior child console to the 1 and the 4. Okay. All right.
A lot of people see it that way.
So he calls me and says, so what are you playing? Oh, I'm playing Donkey Kong. What are you playing? Well, I was trying to play Battlefield, but my game glitched and froze and I got to restart my console. I haven't had to restart my Wii U since I bought it. A couple weeks later, what are you playing? I'm playing Smash Bros, dude. He goes, man, that sounds fun. I said, what are you playing? He goes, well, League of Legends on my computer. So yes, I did end up buying a PlayStation 4, and
because he sold it to you for $20.
no, I bought my own PlayStation 4 because
Street Fighter 5.
I was on the fence. Do I want the Xbox One or do I want the PlayStation 4?
Because you even asked me what I thought.
You guys know me. You know how dedicated I am when it comes to fighting games.
Oh, yeah.
When Capcom came out and Capcom said Street Fighter 5 will be a PlayStation 4 exclusive,
That made your mind up.
I fell right off the fucking fence.
It's funny
That was
because
it.
originally you'd asked me, and I said,
You told me to get the one.
I said, look, for right now, I need to tell you to get the Xbox One.
Well, that's what
you were like, why? And I was like, well, it has better internet, and I'm pissed off at PlayStation.
That was his
Spencer
reason.
came to me at work.
But then, later that day, I seen on Facebook Street Fighter V exclusive to the PS4, and Shane drove up on me and he was like, Spencer was asking what system to get, and I was like, tell him PS4 for me now.
Well,
And he was like, well, that's what I told him anyway, and I was like, tell him from me too, because now Street Fighter 5,
before
and
you
that's what
said
he's
that,
gonna want.
before you said that, Spencer came up to me. He's like, I'm on the fence. I talked to Bill, and he's like, Xbox. I'm like, do not listen to Bill. He's being biased right now. Get a PS4.
I'm being
He's
pissy.
just being pissy right
I
now.
was being pissy.
Okay.
I can admit it though. Okay,
But to
I was
finish,
bitter.
to wrap things up here,
Also, don't talk to Seth. He's also mad too.
I'm not
Nintendo.
mad. I haven't given enough of a shit to get
I've
my
always
PS4
had a spot
fixed.
in my heart for Nintendo. I've owned every Nintendo console. I've owned every Nintendo handheld. I will continue to own every single one of them. I'm sure I got to figure out how I'm going to buy a new 3DS.
Yeah, I was about to say I need a new 3DS.
Oh, yeah?
It's a dumb name, by the way.
You already
I
have
regret-
a 3DS. Oh, you mean the new
The new 3DS.
Okay,
No,
not a new
after
3DS.
After I paid all the money I did for my Fire Emblem Awakening 3DS.
I regret getting rid of
ass
my
name.
Wii U. I had a Wii U, and I got rid of it. And I regret it.
Failed!
I don't.
You lose!
I don't
Fail, brought to you by Scott.
I don't regret getting rid of my Wii.
But no,
I don't
got
regret it at all.
I got rid of the Wii U because I had a PS3 as well.
Why'd you get rid of your Wii?
Shut up.
What's the name of that game, Shane?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, which
I heard you could buy that for your new 3DS.
Which Wii was that,
There's gonna be a
Shane?
new 3DS version.
What numbered Wii was
Yeah,
that?
what number Wii was that, Shane?
Believe it or
4?
not, I think that was number 3.
Shane, let me ask you a serious question. Now that you have a new 3DS, and I'm referring to the new 3DS, not simply a new 3DS,
But the new
but
3DS.
the new 3DS, stupid fucking name.
Yep.
Will you be buying Xenoblade Chronicles? And if you do, let me finish my statement here.
Are you going to sell your new 3DS? Because I need one.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is if you decide that the game sucks so bad that you would just simply be without a new 3DS, can one of us buy it from you?
Yeah. Throw a dog a bone. All right?
No. Not buying that game.
Technically, I should have first dibs on that because I had to buy Richie's 3DS. And the reason I bought Richie's 3DS is because he didn't tell me that he dropped it, so the battery doesn't sit right in it. So every now and again, my 3DS in the middle of playing it will just be like, shut off.
Well, Shane sells me
There's
his
no
new
power to it.
If Shane sells me his new one, I'll give you my old one. I mean, I
Oh,
don't,
just give?
yeah.
Okay, fuck, yeah. I can transfer the SD card, but instead of
See
pop,
Generous. And this has Monster Hunter 4 and Fire Emblem Awakening on the hard drive, and I have no fucking space left.
What if someone was to buy you Xenoblade Chronicles out of the goodness of their heart? With no
hold on, where's my wallet? I got a card.
Fucking love this game.
Well, when I put it in the 3DS, it won't be green. I'll tell you that much.
Anyway.
TV did not support that fucking console.
Anyway.
so great.
But no,
This has been...
I'm not buying it. But no, be fair. when it comes to these consoles, the one thing you're going to get your more bang for your buck, buy the Wii U. That's what everybody agreed on.
Honestly, I agree with you on that one, but buy what you like.
This
Except for
was
Xbox.
just
Yeah,
this was
buy
just to
what
give
you
an
like.
It's just
understanding.
our views on it.
And don't be an idiot like me and just buy the PS4 for a fucking Blu-ray player, because while it was fun, don't get me wrong, now that it's busted, I went to Walmart. I got a decent quality Blu-ray player. Cost me $90, and that's after fucking tax.
Yep.
Actually weigh your options, because I mean, you're going to be stuck with the console for a while. So weigh your options. This was just an idea.
If you're a PlayStation fan and you love PlayStation, everything about PlayStation, get a PS4.
Including the fact that
If
you can
you're-
be hacked and $1,000 taken off your
if
account.
you're a
for playing your
Nintendo guy,
200, good luck.
Get a Wii U. If you're an Xboxer, get an Xbone. That's up to you, but this is just our viewpoint on the whole console war, as it were. Nintendo's that stealthy little Asian assassin that'll stab you in the back and make you go, I wish I could play that game.